Hey and welcome to a new review. This time it's about the Propain Tyee, and maybe some of you heard it, but Niklas and I finished or cancelled our cooperation with Propain like over a year ago. So making an advertisement for this brand is not the focus of this video. It's rather showing you what the bike is capable of because we think it's worth showing, and yeah, that's what we are going to do. So let's start with the review.
Uphill. On flat roads, the Propain rolls ponderously in combination with a soft tire rubber compound. It requires a lot of effort to ride at a faster speed. Sometimes it feels almost like on a tractor. Uphill, this factor changes massively. This is where the Tyee shows off its uphill characteristics. The seating position is upright and long uphill stretches can be ridden with a relaxed posture. Due to the steep seating angle of effectively 77.1 degrees, you can put a lot of pressure onto the pedals. The lightweight Newman wheels transfer the pedaling energy to the surface and let the Tyee climb the mountain with ease. It almost feels like riding its little trail bike brother, the 𝗘𝗾𝗂𝗏. The rear end is low bobbing thanks to the anti-squat value that increases towards the middle. For the most part, I don't need to lock the rear end. The damper responds sensitively and precisely compensates bumps on technical climbs. Steps and root carpets can be easily rolled over with the 29-inch wheels. The RockShox Lyric Ultimate RC2 however has no locking function, which is why the fork dips deeply as soon as you pedal while standing. This is actually the only drawback with this setup uphill. Several hundred meters of altitude at a time are good to ride. Details. The clear coated frame allows dark grey carbon fabric with different weave patterns to show through. Carbon fiber mats with various specifications of flexibility, stability and weight have been bonded together to form a strong, lightweight and flexible frame. Propain markets this processing technique as blend carbon. Similarly, the aluminium version features blend alloy. Shift and brake cables run in the front frame triangle and internal cable channels, which in addition to a tidy appearance offer the advantage that the cable routing is uncomplicated. The area at the screwed bottom bracket is protected from stone damage with a removable plastic cover. Towards the rear end, the brake and shift cables separate. If the cables are too long, however, these definitely wear. The plastic of the chainstay protector has turned out a number too hard. The chain hits audibly against the inflexible plastic shell. If it becomes rough, it is loud. To protect the pressed-in Akros ball bearings from dirt, a metal and rubber cover is installed in front. Even after 1.5 seasons, these still glide cleanly. Propain relies on a virtual pivot point rear triangle system in the Tyee. When the rear end is brought into motion by the trail, two pivoting rockers force the floating damper into compression and the rear wheel rises by a maximum of 160 mm. The system is compatible with both air and steel shocks. The damper adjustment knobs are accessible, although not necessarily easy to read. Sufficient space for a water bottle and tools, however, offers the front frame triangle. The geometry of the frame is balanced. The steering angle is 64.5 degrees flat and the effective seat angle 77.1 degrees. The 445mm chainstay makes for a smooth ride, though this takes the focus of playfulness. My Tyee CF is equipped with a suspension system from RockShox. At the front you will find the Lyric Ultimate RC2 and rear damping is handled by the Deluxe Ultimate RCT spring shock. The drivetrain comes from SRAM with a X01 rear derailleur and a descendant carbon crank. The 12-speed cassette offers a wide range of ratios. Braking is taken over by a powerful and finely dosable Magura MT trail with 220 and 200mm brake disc. The seat height is adjusted with a hydraulic 160mm bike yoke revive post. It runs smoothly so far and only needs to be bled every few months, which is pretty easy with the bleeder screw. The tubeless Continental and Schwalbe tires are mounted on a Newman Evolution SLA 30 wheelset. Since the beginning, the rims have taken hard impacts and crooked landings. For a claimed weight of 1,780 grams, this wheelset is surprisingly stable. Propain offers a configurator with visual adjustments and selectable parts in the ordering process. Thus, you can lay out the Tyee for your needs. Downhill. Downhill, the character of the Propain Tyee unfolds. The bike literally shoots over the trail and wants to chase from route to route. The faster and harder you ride, the better the bike works. The geometry feels balanced and with a tendency to smooth running. Playfulness must be tickled out of the bike. The frame flexes a bit in a carbon version and snuggles with the large wheels into the circumstances of the line. Downhill, the Tyee always remains high in the suspension travel and only rarely gives necessary reserves. Only large drops force the damper to the limit. Sometimes the bike feels a bit high. If the bottom bracket had been lowered even further, you could tilt the Tyee even better in corners. Due to the progressive rear end, you bring a lot of counter pressure on a jump. In the air, the Tyee feels balanced. In the forest, the kinematics ensure that the trail is literally consumed underneath. The bike is not necessarily soft. The harshness of the trail bumps are absorbed instead of being swallowed up, and the rider gets precise feedback. This also has the disadvantage of emphasizing already slow and stocky sections of trail. You have to let the bike work to feel a high level of performance. And if you can do that, the Propain Tyee CF is a lot of fun. If you ride a lot on flat terrain, you should choose a light setup with easy rolling tires. In uneven conditions, the Tyee unfolds its qualities. The bike works uphill or downhill at a high level, and it is fun to discover the capacities further and further. So my needs are covered really good by the bike. You can feel that there sleeps a little downhiller in the Propain Tyee. It really wants to be ridden. And the only disadvantage, at least for me, is that the bike, like I said, feels sometimes a bit high, so sometimes I don't feel connected to the bike or to the trail. But yeah, otherwise it's a really good bike. And thank you for watching this video. You can leave a comment down in the comment section if you want. Otherwise, we will see us next time. Bye bye and stay in touch.